First, I want to show you this. Bruce Springsteen. He announced his endorsement of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in a video that was posted on Instagram yesterday. It really was perfect. And I'm just talking about the words delivered, the location, how he was dressed. I mean, it looked like Spielberg put this together. The perfect on every front. It's a pretty good tip for anybody running for politics in the future, in the age of Instagram, the age of TikTok, the age of, well, insane madness. Here's Bruce Springsteen sounding very sane.
Hi, I'm Bruce Springsteen. Friends, fans, and the press have asked me who I'm supporting in this most important of elections. And with full knowledge that my opinions no more or less important than those of any of my fellow citizens, here's my answer. I'm supporting Kamala Harris for president and Tim Walz for vice president, and opposing Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Here's why. We are shortly coming upon one of the most consequential elections in our nation's history. Perhaps not since the Civil War has this great country felt as politically, spiritually, and emotionally divided as it does then at this moment. It doesn't have to be this way. The common values, the shared stories that make us a great and united nation are waiting to be rediscovered and retold once again. Now that will take time, hard work, intelligence, faith, and women and men with the national good guiding their hearts. America is the most powerful nation on earth, not just because of her overwhelming military strength or economic power, but because of what she stands for, what she means, what she believes in. Freedom, social justice, equal opportunity, the right to be and love who you want. These are the things that make America great. Donald Trump is the most dangerous candidate for president in my lifetime. His disdain for the sanctity of our Constitution, the sanctity of democracy, the sanctity of the rule of law, and the sanctity of the peaceful transfer of power should disqualify him from the office of president ever again. He doesn't understand the meaning of this country, its history, or what it means to be deeply American. On the other hand, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are committed to a vision of this country that respects and includes everyone, regardless of class, religion, race, your political point of view, or sexual identity. And they want to grow our economy in a way that benefits all, not just the few like me on top. That's the vision of America I've been consistently writing about for 55 years. Now, everybody sees things different, and I respect your choice as a fellow citizen. But like you, I've only got one vote, and it's one of the most precious possessions that I have. That's why, come November 5th, I'll be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Thanks for listening.
You know, Gene, there's so many things that were done right there, stylistically. But the words, it doesn't, he talks about how we're more divided now than any time since the Civil War. It says it doesn't have to be this way. The common values, the shared stories that make us great, and a united nation, a united nation are waiting to be rediscovered and retold once again. And then he says of Donald Trump, he doesn't understand the meaning of this country, its history, and what makes America great. And then at the end, I love how he says to his fans and anybody else watching, hey, listen, just one guy's opinion. I know people think differently, but this is the most precious thing I have, my vote. And that's why I'm telling you, it's so important, not only to vote for Kamala Harris, but to beat Donald Trump. What are your thoughts?
Well, look, he really does have a way with words, doesn't he? He has for a while. I just saw Bruce and the E Street Band perform here in Washington a few weeks ago. My friend Stevie Van Zandt, and they were just in terrific form, and it was such a cross section. It is a display of Americana up there on the stage that speaks to so many people through the music and especially through the lyrics that are just piercing. He's amazing, and I thought that was a great endorsement. It really was. It was pure Bruce Springsteen, and I hope people watch it.
Now, you know, Donnie, with Mika off the show this morning, I can say what you are. You are an advertising and branding legend. She wouldn't tell me to be quiet and stop making your head bigger than it is. But let's just, TJ, roll this while Donnie talks, just so we can look at the visuals of it. Talk us through that, Donnie. Why does that, the second it hits the screen, why does that appeal to Americans so much?
Well, it appeals to Americans for two reasons. Number one, it's Bruce Springsteen. Number two, that is a seat that pretty much anybody in this country can relate to sitting in. That is in a diner. That is in we all know that diner. And he's wearing the flannel shirt, and there's something about Springsteen that transcends every other celebrity.
By the way, that flannel shirt, talk about the consistency. It works because it's so consistent with who we know he is.
Well, the whole thing is authentic, and the whole thing is, and there is. I've been very outspoken, not very outspoken. I've said many times, step away from celebrities, Democrats. It just puts you in the elitist category. Bruce is in a different place than everybody else. He is not red. He is not blue. He is America. He is red, white, and blue. And there's a trust factor there, and there's an honesty there, and there's an authenticity there. And he's the boss. And I think this is beautifully done. It's well crafted. It's well written. But Joe, you said it best. It's authentic, and that's what makes it.
Mara, there's also a challenge in there, which is this is what I've been writing about in my songs for 50 years. And it's almost his way of saying, okay, you say you love my songs, you say you love my lyrics, you say you're a super fan of mine. Okay, well, what you've been singing to, the songs that you've been singing to are exactly what I'm talking about now over these 2.5 minutes.
Well, I'm really glad you brought that up because, first of all, I wish my father was here, who also was a lifelong advertising executive. He was the creative director at Ogilvy and Mather.
No
for
way.
A long time.
I started out at Ogilvy and Mather.
So you guys could have quite a conversation.
He was the guy that fired you.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Told you to stop wearing the Baby Gap T-shirts to work.
No, he went on to own his own company
Wow.
too, and he has a long history in the business. But I love watching campaign spots with him because he has such a similar take. And I think what he would say too is the other reason it works is that it respects the audience. Yeah. It's not talking down to the viewer. It's saying, you're one of me, you're one of us, I'm here at this table with you. Sit at my table, and I'm gonna treat you like an adult. And then it's saying, please do the right thing. It's up to you, but here's why I believe so strongly in this. Come sit with me. And it's powerful. It's also really important because this is a moment where the campaign desperately needs more male surrogates. It needs more trusted male surrogates to get this message out. And I think that's why Walz has gotten so under Donald Trump's skin, because he's an example of a man who can be strong without diminishing others and without controlling others. And so the more examples we see of that, and legends like Bruce Springsteen are directly in that tradition, the better, not just for Kamala Harris, but for the country. I mean, ultimately, this is about between Liz Cheney and Bruce Springsteen saying, this is America. Right. Those guys over there who want to take away your rights, destroy this country for themselves and their pals, that's not America. Yeah. This is us.
Well, you also bring up a great point about where the Harris campaign is right now. And we knew this was going to be the case beforehand. I think we talked about it around the table, that when you substitute Joe Biden for Kamala Harris, you're going to be substituting a candidate who actually overperforms for Democrats among older white guys in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, but underperforms among people of color and younger voters. So that's been switched since Kamala Harris has come on board. And now it is the older white guys in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. that the Harris campaign needs to pick up, along with Hispanics. She needs to gain in that, and this is a message to those guys. Again, in a diner, as Donnie said, that every one of those guys and all of us understand it is an important message to those voters.
Yeah, I mean, also, I think a lot of them are primed already to go into that voting booth and say, I cannot do 4 more years of Donald Trump.
Right.
I love my wife. I love my daughter. I love my country. I don't really believe in this. But they do need that permission structure. I've been traveling for the Times all year, talking to some of these voters, and a lot of them feel like they are alone in this. Well, what does it even matter if I vote? All the guys I know might be voting for Trump. Right. But this says, no, come on in. The water's fine.
It is so important. You are so right. Because right now that is the concern. Guys that may have voted for Trump in 2016 barely were able to vote for him in 2020. And they've said it to me. They hate the fact that they're going to have to vote for this guy in 2024. They don't feel right now. Some of them don't feel like they can vote for a Democrat, let alone Kamala Harris. And that's why Bruce Springsteen here. Not that one rock star is going to make a difference, but it certainly is the kind of phrase of the campaign. It's the permission structure. Hey, wait a second. I've listened to this guy for 50 years. I know him. He's a good guy, and he shares my values. And if he says she's okay, maybe when they walk into the booth, they go, yeah, okay, let's do it.